Right, I've had some symbols appear on this camera and I don't know what it means. So this might not last, I don't know. But right, those of you who don't know what big oil is, it's all the big oil companies based around the world. You know, you can generally see their names on the petrol stations in your area. Now, they've for years have been suppressing renewable energy, and some of them have been pretending to take on renewable energy. Like BP started making solar panels. What happened to those? I've got a feeling that they weren't really trying. I think they were just trying to sort of, you know, get the stuff off. And then you hear about these people who produce a car that can run on water. Now, in the workshop we've got a brown gas generator, which puts brown gas back in the manifold and gives you a bit less, but you have to be running and you have to switch it on after you've started the car because it takes a lot of power. So you're using up the power so the generator's working harder to produce the brown gas to put back in the manifold. So it's a bit of a circle, really. Whether they do any good or not, I don't know. We haven't really tested ours, so we don't know. But yeah, but now we've got electric cars. Provided the electric car can be run solely off wind and power, wind and sun generation, these oil companies are going to go downhill fast. It's going to be a slow process because not every country is going to want to get rid of their petrol and diesel cars yet. But it's got to happen, and it will happen, because if you've seen Tesla's cars, not only are they much faster than a petrol car, a lot less working parts. They've just got to get the batteries changed from the lithium ion or whatever it is to the new supercapacitors. As soon as they've done that, you know, they won't be taking up much resources because they've got plenty of carbon for the capacitors. So now, big oil, what I'm saying is, what do you think is going to happen? Is it going to go downhill fast? Are electric cars going to take over? We still use oil in our heating system here. That's the big warehouse one with the vents on the side that blow air. That runs on red diesel. Where I am in Wales, our house has got a big oil tank and an oil boiler, basically because there's no gas. So yeah, there's still oil has to be used, but if we go on to the Project X housing system, then most of us will be underground and won't need heating anyway. So big oil, you know, do you know anything in your country where they've paid somebody off? I know one country's complaining because there's been a massive 40-foot flame burning off gas for nearly 60 odd years, and apparently it's burning off so much gas that it could equip the whole area for their cooking gas. You know, hundreds of square miles. 1 minute. So yeah, so big oil. Now I'll put down an email address. You can either comment or oil@project-x.org.uk to hear from the companies, people affected by it, people who've seen big pollution. Some I've got a friend in Scotland who's concerned because if they become independent from the UK, which is a bit of a grey area, they've got their own oil, but when's that going to run? If you know, if nobody's buying it, there's no point getting it out of the ground. and all these oil rigs in the North Sea and all these helicopters going backwards and forwards and millions of staff is all going to go down the pan. But on the other hand, you know, jobs are going down the pan slowly anyway. So, and oil is going down the pan slowly. Electric cars. So what's you know, what do you think is going to happen? We're not sure. We don't know how long oil is going to last. Petrol and diesel cars, you know, they're thinking about phasing those out between for 2040, 2050. Are we going to be able to keep our hobby cars, our old stuff? You know, there's lots of things around oil that we're not sure about. I think we're looking a bit of a way into the future yet, but we need to know really now so we can plan ahead. And yeah, so the biggest users of oil, let's think: heating, power generation. They reckon power generation is going to be renewable by such a date. So that means using no more oil and no more coal. So using no more oil is another problem for the big oil companies. Some people say they've got too much power and influence too many people and lobby MPs, lobby members of governments in different, especially in African countries where they can be bought for next to nothing. You know, bribery is the normal thing. But if the world got rid of money, bribery is gone. There's no point bribing somebody. They can't spend it. So yeah, big oil. What do we think? So there's the email address, oil@project-x.org.uk, or comment. The boys have said to me to ask people to subscribe, but when I watch YouTube I hardly ever do, so I'm guilty of not. So it's up to you anyway. If you want to hear about more consultations and add more emails, then you might want to know where to come back to. So that's it. Thank you very much.